Happy Friday, everyone. I hope you're doing very well and living your very best life in Jesus Christ. I was talking to my friend yesterday, as I noted, and we were talking about that we think that we're probably the last generation that really were forced by necessity to learn to drive a car with a manual transmission. I don't know about you, but if you were raised in that era or before, I can still smell the clutch burning and hear the grinding of the gears as my poor father attempted to teach me to not just pop the clutch, to learn to feel the gears, to know when to shift and how to feather the clutch and the brake. For those of you who are never blessed to have had to learn these things, suffice it to say that they were skills that you could only truly learn by doing, and frankly by experimentation and trial and error. And some of those errors were a bit expensive. I clearly remember putting 4 clutches in my first new car due to my failure to be able to master these skills. One of the most important things you had to learn was to use first gear to get moving, and then as soon as possible upshift to be able to increase your speed. I mean, first gear had the most power, it had the most torque, so it was used to overcome the inertia to get that heavy car moving. But if you stayed in first gear for too long, first of all, you'd go really slowly, and frankly, after a while, you'd damage your transmission. As you move through the gears, you can continue to go faster, yet without any more real power, until you get up to cruising speed. And you weren't going to get anywhere unless you moved out of first gear. So what can we learn from this? Well, I think many Christians are struggling with their faith because they're stuck in first gear. It's long past time to shift gears, to get moving, but for whatever reason, either through lack of commitment or frankly just plain laziness, they're not gaining any momentum in their walk with the Lord. They're using all their power just creeping along. They need a breakthrough. It's time for them to shift gears. Let me tell you from experience, first time you have to shift gears on a manual transmission is a bit scary. And you might make some mistakes. You might grind the gears a little, release the clutch too fast, even shift to the wrong gear. We've done that. But after a while you learn and grow, and eventually you find yourself achieving speeds you never dreamed possible. As a matter of fact, you might even have to slow down a little bit. In the same way, stepping out in faith, making a major commitment in our spiritual lives is also scary. But it's the only way we can grow and move forward in the Spirit. Are you feeling like you need a breakthrough? Do you really feel like you need to move in another direction? Well, then you need to take that first step. You need to focus all your energy, all your everything you have into that initial first gear. But once you get moving, you don't stay there. Yes, it takes all your strength to start something new, and it seems like you're moving so slowly. But be encouraged, because once you start moving, you'll be able to shift gears. And before you know it, you'll be sailing along, achieving amazing things for the Lord. We need people in the church who are willing to move out of first gear. Yeah, that first gear is always the hardest, but it's necessary for change. We can break through with the power of God empowering us, so let's go for it. Shift gears, try something new, and direct your power into moving forward in your spiritual life. Don't just sit there driving in first gear and wonder why you're feeling stuck and powerless. Just like driving, it will get easier, and before you know it, we might even have to issue you a speeding ticket just to slow you down a bit. With so much work to be done in this day and age, so many people who need the Lord, we can't afford to just stay in neutral. And we certainly can't afford for those of us who are believers to drive along in first gear. So, I guess today I'm saying that we all need to get it into gear and then start shifting upward. I hope you make today a fantastic day. I want you to know that I'm here should you need me, and I love you all.